Hey everybody, this is Zikarita from Tumblr with my video log for Once Upon a Time, Season 3, Episode 7, Dark Hollow. Yes, I know it's already the following Sunday, but unfortunately I have too much stuff to do during the week to have time, so super quick and fast. Okay, Dark Hollow, aka how to turn two centuries-old grown men into 5-year-olds in the space of 5 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna have to agree with what most people said about that particular scene. It was definitely cringe-inducing, but I think that was the point. We already know, Adam and Eddie have said multiple times, hundreds of times, that it was never their intention to introduce a love triangle into this show. So, them doing the whole childish fighting over a lighter thing in the Dark Hollow between Hook and Neil, that I kind of think that was their way of exaggerating it in order to, just to put out there how ridiculous it actually was, so that to get it out of the way. Because I have to agree with what Emma said towards the end of the episode. Yeah, she doesn't have time for their bullshit. Their journey in Neverland is not who has is not a it's not about a pissing contest to see who can win Emma's affections. It's about saving Henry's life, and more power to her for setting them straight. I mean, I'm not on either guy's side in this instance, because it's true, they screwed up because they decided they wanted to fight over a stupid lighter. Not only did they almost get everybody killed, but they almost lost the opportunity to get Pan's shadow because they wanted to be stupid about it. I also thought this was a great opportunity for Emma to finally use her magic. Obviously, she has to really dig into her emotions to go to that place, in order to make it work. But she managed. I don't know whether it was because she delved into her love for Henry and her desperation to save his life, or if it was more desperation to save Hook or to save Neil or whoever it was, or whatever it was. But whatever she needed, she definitely found it. And she managed to come up with enough magic to light that candle in order to trap the shadow. So good on her, most definitely. Okay, other scenes. There wasn't really too much going on, particularly in this episode, outside of the Dark Hollow plotline. Aside from a short scene with David and Mary Margaret, David's trying to, he finally calls her Snow. Thank you. Trying to figure out how to get her to talk to him, because at this point it's not just the silent treatment he's being given, and it's not just the brush off, it's the I don't want to talk to you ever again. I guess there was a little bit of David Nolan creeping in there with what Snow had said, but you didn't believe in our love enough to tell me, to be honest with me about what was actually going on. And Josh Dallas has said that even though they're not cursed anymore, now, even though they have their memories back, those little bits and pieces of who they used to be when they were cursed is still kind of there. And David Nolan's issue when he was, his biggest issue was that he was too slow to act. He never believed enough, which is why Mary Margaret wound up in jail with the whole suspect of killing Catherine business. All she wanted was for him to believe in her, that she didn't kill Catherine, and he, for that moment there, he didn't. And when he regained his memories, he was like, oh my god, how could I not believe in Snow, my true love? And here you see that kind of happen again. It wasn't that he didn't believe that she could handle it, it was that I think he was scared of what it would wind up doing to their relationship. He was scared of the idea that he was going to have to say goodbye to her. But apparently Snow is set on staying in Neverland. She's not wanting to part with Charming. Although, from the sneak peeks we saw for episode 8, Think Lovely Thoughts, Emma has done a real 180, and her, of all people, she's the one that's always having trouble believing in what's right in front of her face, and yet this time she chastises Snow for giving up so quickly. She's like, what about the way, how our family's always saying that, we'll always find each other, good always wins, there's always a way, which, that's a big character growth moment for Emma, because if you remember from season 1, she didn't believe in anything other than herself, and actually she didn't even really believe in herself. She didn't believe in anything, and now she's actually found, through this journey, she has found belief in not only her family, but herself, which is the most important thing. Okay, I can't leave this analysis without talking about the scene. I think you all know what I'm referring to now. Alright. For all those naysayers out there that thought he was getting up in her face and taking her agency away by forcing himself on her and saying that, you will be mine, no. Just... no. Okay. When Neil spoke to her at the end of episode 6, he told her that he would not stop fighting for her ever. Like, period. I won't stop fighting for you. No matter what you want or what your heart, tells you, or what decision that you make, I'm not gonna stop. Really? Hook says he's a very confident person. Colin has already said this. Hook is very confident that if he wants something, he's going to get it. He's already, now that he knows that Emma did not tell Neil about that kiss, and that was what that smirk was. Everyone thought that smirk in Neil's little cave when he admitted that Emma did not tell him about this kiss. Everyone thought that he deliberately told Neil, and people were all about, oh, he deliberately told Neil just to dig it in. And no, that's not what it was. He was trying to be as apologetic as possible. I mean, because he honestly thought in his heart that Emma had chosen Neil, and he wanted forgiveness for that because he does care about Neil. So when he realizes that Emma did not tell Neil about that kiss, and that it wasn't her secret, that something else was, that little smirk was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said anything. And also kind of like, oh, really? Game on. Game the fuck on. But anyway, he wasn't being dominant with her. He was being self-assertive. And he didn't say, I'm going to have you whether you like it or not. He said, when I win your heart, and I will win it, it will not be through trickery, it will be because you want me. Him saying that line right there, it will be because you want me, is exactly what makes what he says different from what Neil says. Neil, the way Neil put it, he said he would fight for her no matter what she wants. He's just gonna do it, period. But what Hook said is that you will have to make a choice at some point. And I'm gonna let you make it, but I'm just saying, you're gonna have to. I'm not saying that you have to do it now because the priority is Henry, and I get that. Absolutely. I'm gonna let you save Henry, but once we get past the story, I'm just gonna lay it out. It's on. And you are eventually going to have to make this choice because neither one of us is going to stop, but it will be your choice. He didn't say it was going to be his choice or Neil's choice. He said it was going to be her choice. And if she really wasn't into what he was saying, she would not have walked up closer. She would not have gotten all with the fluttery eyes and the cutesy little smile. Trust me. Girl was into him. Girl was definitely into her pirate. If she were to take Neil back, it just would not make... And I'm not bashing Neil here. I'm saying it would not make sense for her character. And it would not make sense for the overall theme of the show. Because honestly, what y'all guys have been saying is true. Neil's purpose, I'm not even talking about him being there as a plot device. I'm saying Neil right now needs to focus on mending his relationship with his father and being a father to his son. Romance should not be in the forefront of his mind at this point. I mean, he just lost Tamara. He just, not even a week has passed since he was betrayed, shot, and left for dead in another realm by the woman he thought that he loved. So he has to be able to cope with that loss. And I'm really hoping that at some point they're going to address this. He needs to be able to cope with this. Just like she had to figure out, just like Emma had to figure out a way to cope with his perceived loss. That little mini breakdown she had, what was it? Oh yeah, at the end of episode 4, you know, about her feelings for Neil. You know, that was necessary, and that was development for her character. Neil needs to do the same thing, or he's just going to be like this. Now the scene towards the end where they come out with the coconut and they're with Tinkerbell, that moment right there kind of irked me. The fact that he totally took over her agency in that respect, saying that he was the one, acting as if he was the one that was, you know, the hero and responsible for taking down Shadow when he really wasn't. He was actually pinned to a fucking tree. So, but, you know, Neil was Neil. And then that little look that he and Tinkerbell shared, I'm not willing to go that far and say that there's some things between them because you really don't know that. Obviously, he was on the island for 300 years, so he obviously has some sort of relationship, some sort of past with her, but probably more of a friendship thing. I mean, he was just a kid. But I just think it's funny how he gives her that little smirk smile, and she gives him that little smirk smile, like, and you got Emma standing right there, and not 5 seconds after that conversation's over and they all move on to go find Henry, Neil saying to Emma that, you know, if nothing ever happens, if the only good thing that came out of us being together is Henry, I'd say that we did good. Yeah, that kind of does sound like a so long, honey, but I'm out of here kind of move. Although, and I know most of us would like it to be, I don't know if it's going to, but I agree with you guys. I think them nipping that little bitch fight in the Dark Hollow in the bud was kind of their way of saying, yeah, the triangle is not gonna be what you think it is. Because that's not the point of the show. They have too many plots and subplots going on to have any sort of time to focus on a triangle. I mean, yes, Emma is going to obviously make her choice at some point, and oh my god, the spoiler pictures from 11 and 12 Hook in New York with Emma, and woo, yeah, okay. I don't know exactly how that's going to go or what the details are of this new curse that's supposed to happen, but I guess we'll see when it comes in. Guys, don't worry. I know you guys are freaking out about how long the hiatus is going to be, but look, episode 11 airs on December 15th, right? And then the second half of the season picks up March 9th. That's like 2.5 months. You guys were freaking out that it was going to be like 4 months. It's not even that much, because look, you got January, you got February, which is a short month anyway, and then 9 days in March, and boom, season's back. Remember, the last episode airs on the 15th of December, which means there's only 16 days left. That's 2 weeks in December. 2 months, January and February, which is a short month anyway, and then 9 days in March. It ain't that much. That's barely 3 months. Barely. And the whole time that we're gonna be on break, they're filming, except for obviously when the cast goes home for their Christmas holidays. They're going to be filming continuously, so we'll get to see spoilers and we'll get to see pictures and stuff. So it'll be good. It'll be okay. What's up? Relax. We're all gonna be fine. Okay, think lovely thoughts. So, I am very excited about the reunion between Wendy and Neil. I don't like the idea of people continuously trying to pair up Neil with somebody. He doesn't need to be paired up with anybody right now. He needs to deal with his own personal life and his own issues with getting over Tamara and dealing with his relationship with his father and with Henry. But I will admit, it got me kind of teary-eyed seeing those pictures of the reunion between him and Wendy, because I swear to God, if she was not 14, those two would be it. I used to have this kind of flame of hope for Mulan and Neil way back before the two even met, because I just thought that they had a lot in common. But, you know, now that she's got her own whatever, you know, she's kind of plays for the other team. So that kind of nipped that in the bud. I don't know what the whole deal is with Neil and Regina, but obviously Regina's got her own storyline, supposedly, with Robin Hood. I really think that he and Wendy would have been it, because I remember in episode 21 from last year, she was his world. And I guarantee you that if he had stayed with them long enough to grow up to become a couple years older, I mean, let's face it, he was 14, 3 or 4 years, that's old enough to be involved. And in Victorian England, which is where they were, well, not Victorian, actually, it was more Georgian or Edwardian? Edwardian. It's not so out of the ordinary to be with someone when you're still a teenager. I really think that they would have been happy together. It's unfortunate that that will never happen, considering she's, you know, stuck being 14. I was really happy seeing John and Michael. That was cool. And the sub story with Belle and Ariel. Ariel is just a sweetheart, and I hope that Joanna becomes a permanent fixture. I want her to stay, and not just because she's Ariel. I love her as an actress. She is so incredible, and in this role, they couldn't have picked a better person. Her and Belle are like Thelma and Louise. They're perfect together. And I'm really excited to see the reunion between her and Eric. I would like to think, considering that they're together welcoming everybody off of Jolly Roger in episode 10, I think that they reunite in episode 9? 9 or 10. But yeah, I'm excited to see that, because the Little Mermaid story was always one of my favorites. And right now, I'm not even going to discuss the Van City video thing, because there's just no point. We all know that he's a jerk. I mean, yes, we got our video, even though it took over 24 hours after he got his 6,000 followers to get it. I don't know if he was necessarily baiting just to get followers, but he had to know that at some point, once that video aired, they were just going to go back and unfollow him. But he should not have gone with the false advertising route, to make it seem like it was one of the three main couples. I know he didn't actually come outright and say it, but fans read into that, and it's not nice. But anyway, I'm not gonna dwell on it. So think lovely thoughts. We got a reunion between Neil and Wendy comes out with the real truth that Pan needs Henry's heart. He has the heart of the truest believer, and he literally needs Henry's heart. Because the magic in Neverland is dying, and so is Pan. So he wants to put Henry's heart in his own chest, so that he can absorb all the magic of Neverland and become immortal. But it's a one-for-one trade. If this happens, Henry will die. So now it's come down to, it's go time. They need to get in there in Skull Rock and save him, or Henry's gonna die. This is all supposed to lead up to the penultimate episode 9, Save Henry, which is in 2 weeks. Don't everybody get pissed off. It's just an award show. No big deal. Besides, it's Thanksgiving weekend anyway, and you guys knew that we're probably not going to be on for Thanksgiving. It's going to be intense. And that's not even coupled with the supposed flashback storyline to Rumple's childhood. I mean, I actually, for once, am kind of interested in seeing a bit of Rumple backstory, because I really want to know just how he got to be the way that he got to be. And it all stems from what his father did to him when he was a child. So, I am interested in seeing how all this works. And supposedly we're supposed to get, by delving into Rumple's childhood, we also get to delve into Pan's story as well. So that will be very interesting. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do feel like it's going to be a really good episode. I'm excited to see it. I know there's going to be a week off because of the American Music Awards, and then we'll come back. But it's not that big of a deal. We all kind of knew that it was coming because it's Thanksgiving weekend, like I said. So, nothing is going to be on the new for Thanksgiving weekend. So yeah, that's about it. I don't have too much else left to say. This was a pretty quick one. The episode itself was good. But I think that I felt like the Snow Charming storyline was just kind of thrown in there to kill time, and it shouldn't have been, because it was really important. They should have made more of it. It was important. It is important. Obviously, beyond saving Henry, there's something that they have to do. Because we all know that Charming comes back from those spoiler pictures, so something has to happen in order for them to save Charming. Josh Alice himself said that they bring something of Neverland with them, so I don't know if they're talking about the water or Neverland's magic or what, but something in order to keep him from dying. And can we please talk about the rest of those spoiler pictures with Ginny Goodwin? I don't know if she's just wearing really big clothes or layering because it's cold. But Girlfriend looks like she's pregnant for reals. But I mean, that would mean that after this curse hits, that there's a time jump. I know that people have been speculating that there might be a time jump, but girl really does look like she's pregnant. And I know that they were talking about, her wanting to have another child. So who knows? At this point, it is speculation. But I know we'll all be waiting with bated breath for March 9th. Mostly for that bug scene with Emma and Hook and Loft in New York. Yeah, can someone get this man another set of clothes? For real? For real. I mean, I know somehow the last time he was in New York hunting down Rumple, which is a plot hole we will not discuss again, that no one seemed to notice that he was wearing a pirate outfit, but this time, I'm pretty sure that they're going to notice. So either she gets him a new outfit, or she casts an invisibility spell on him because he stands out like a sore damn thumb. And I know, okay, it's New York. Everybody's eccentric, but come on. Not everybody's that eccentric. Well, anyway, that's it for me, and I will be back in a couple of days with my video log for Think Lovely Thoughts. Peace out, guys.